I visited every CEX in the West Midlands, episode 2 of 4. Today, it's Coventry and Solihull. Let's go.
Join the fight with the elite older gamer. Level up, I'm the clutch time tamer. EOG.
Hello everyone, it's EOG. And yeah, we're on episode 2 of I visited every CEX in the West Midlands. Episode 1 was the Black Country. So if you haven't seen that, loads of stores from over that way. And today, we're over the other side of the West Midlands, which is Coventry and Solihull. A much shorter episode because there's only 4 branches we're going to visit. Me and the elite younger gamer, my oldest lad, went on a bit of a tour to see what we could find. Few things before we get into this. We are not the type of dudes just to go out and buy any game, any site, anywhere, just for nonsense content types and just say, oh, I bought all these games. No, I'm very quite specific. If you watch the Black Country episode, you know I'm particularly focusing on the Street Fighter collection behind me, which is almost complete. So it's going to be very rare for me to do a pickup, although I do collect as well some Mortal Kombats and very specific Call of Duties. But anyway, it's going to be rare for us, but we'll see what we can do. And the elite younger gamer obviously can only play a certain type of games being younger. So we're going to look at these stores. Did a little vlog along the way of some mini clips. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's go. It's quite a busy place around this Cannon Park. Well, we got one pickup, collected some of the halos, so it's on to the next one. Right, so the first store was a small one called Cannon Park, I believe, in Coventry. A smaller store, one of the smallest I've seen, but you know, still decent enough stuff in there. There was one pickup from here, a specific Halo. The elite younger gamer likes some Halos, so I'll put that on the screen. Nowhere near as small as the Hale's Own one. If you haven't watched episode 1, Hale's Own is the smallest store I've ever seen. But this was a particularly small one, but this isn't the biggest shopping centre in the world ever. So it's going to be, but still a decent range. Remember, we're focusing on Xbox predominantly because we're an Xbox dude. So that's where we're going to be looking. Small DVD selection here. I wouldn't expect too much from this store, but if you're local, it's decent to pop into. And look, there was a pickup. So real quick, on to the next one, which was Coventry. Right, as you can see from the clips there, Coventry, I think, is the biggest CEX I've ever been to. It's a brilliant one. So, although no pickups here for us, that's irrelevant. This is the biggest store I've ever seen. And we have got the Birmingham one coming in episode 4, which is very big as well. But that's, I won't spoil too much there, but that's quite a large surface area. But it doesn't mean it's got the most in. This store is over a couple of floors, although it's more like a mezzanine, just raised. Massive DVD selection. So if you're into your DVDs, this is the one. Huge Blu-ray selection, different Xbox sections, loads of PlayStation stuff, and more of your controller type stuff and, you know, consoles and retro consoles along this round counter. Than ever. So massive plaudits to Central Coventry store. That is the biggest store that I've seen out of the CEXs I've been to. So this one gets a massive thumbs up. So if you've never been here and you fancy a visit, I'd give this one a thumbs up. Then we turn back around, head home, and we're on the way to Chelmsley Wood and Solihull. And the first one was Chelmsley Wood. All right, Chelmsley Wood, good store. This one's a good one. It was nice and empty at the time. So I don't, by the way, if you ever think of what's the little elite older gamer logos coming up for, and when I'm outside I only do short clips, I don't like filming people without their permission, whether it's outdoors and I'm not against any legislation or inside. I don't like doing that. So I cover things like that up, you know, just out of respect. I wouldn't like someone just filming me, so I'll cover them up, and I only take mega short clips out of respect for people, really. So although I'm on the walk to a shop just to give you an overview of it, and in every right outside there's no laws I'm breaking by doing that, I'll still cover people up because it's not fair. I don't like doing that stuff. So you'll often see my logo pop up to cover people because I don't have their permission. And when a store's nice and empty, makes it easier for me to show you. But this is a decent one, decent size. Again, no pickups. There was in the last store for us, so that one's on the way. But Chelmsley Wood gets a thumbs up. You know, you're not going to get every single one as big as Coventry or central Birmingham. That's just not reality. And there's only so much stock each store can hold with the shop they've got there. But this one, if I had to put between average and good, you know, into certain brackets, which we're going to do in the last episode where we rank them all, at the moment I'd just say between average and good. It sits in there, maybe above average. Good store. But yeah, the tier list is coming in the last episode. But good one. Let's move on to Solihull. Fresh off the train, last stop is Solihull. Right, we're leaving Solihull. What an affluent, lovely place. Star Wars Battlefront for the elite younger gamer. And that ends today's episode. Right, Solihull, the last one on this stop. Very affluent area, very nice town centre. Just outside on the main high street is their CEX, adjacent to Touchwood. But this was all right. Star Wars pick up here, Battlefront 2, was it? Few quid, decent Xbox One game. You know, some Star Wars games are really good, aren't they? So even though the movies went garbage in the end, the games remained alright. So we'll give that a pass. So there was another pickup here. But yeah, this was a good one as well. The ones in the city centre are always going to be busy, aren't they? You're always going to get people looking in and browsing. And again, remember, no stock checks done. Takes away the kind of fun of the day of trying to find stuff. I could check stock online, that would be boring, just going in there and faking some bullshit video. That's not what I do. I'm too old for that stuff, do you know what I mean? So it will be simply, the next one is all Birmingham stores barring Birmingham Central, which is 7 or 8 CEXs if you're interested in subscribing for episode 3. And then the final episode in this mini series will be Central Birmingham and tier listing the whole West Midlands up, which will be a challenge, but we'll give it a go. And we'll design it against size versus stock versus where we did pickups, location, parking, all that good stuff, and say what was easier for me and the elite younger gamer. But that's it for this tour. Very mini one compared to the last episode, but the next one is going to be a big one. It's all of Birmingham. So if you're interested in hanging around, subscribe and like and all that. Catch you in episode 3 of this series. And just so you know, if you're new here, broken bosses, fighting game episodes, finding the most secret bosses in fighting game history is a mainstay here. This is a mini series, but really enjoyed it so far. Take care. Bye bye.